From Bielsa's Leeds, Arsenal learned the most valuable of lessons. When Mikel Arteta cast his eye over the fixture list upon taking over at Arsenal, Leeds at home in the FA Cup would have looked an intriguing mixture of nightmare and dream. So it proved in North London on Monday night. In a game of wildly contrasting halves, the Gunners beat Marcelo Bielsa's Whites to make it through to the fourth round of the FA Cup. Most importantly, though, the vital lesson was learned. The reasons for this being a nightmarish fixture are clear. Leeds is flying at the top of the championship. It has a consolidated and thrilling playing style and would have been motivated by the chance to turn over a Premier League side away from home. It was the quintessential difficult cup type. But part of Arteta would have relished it, too. Directly and indirectly, he drinks from the font of Marcelo Bielsa. Arteta spoke of his admiration for the Argentine in the build-up. "What makes Bielsa special," he said, "is what he gets out of his team, how he makes them fight and challenge and run and compete, and never give up in any game or any circumstances." Arteta's mentor, Pep Guardiola, has called the current Leeds boss the best coach in the world. And Marcelo Pochettino, another of the new Arsenal manager's inspirations, was a vital cog in the Newell's Old Boys and Argentine national teams managed by Bielsa in the 1990s and early 2000s and refers to him as a second father. Arteta would, then, have seen this as an opportunity for his players to learn. What does it take to get to the top? What do I want from you? Have a look at Leeds, lads. And in the first half, looking was about all that they managed. The team from the second tier, playing away from home, was dominant. The Leeds fans were making all the noise in the stands and, to use a Jurgen Kloppism, their team was playing the heavy metal football on the pitch. 64% possession and 15 shots to Arsenal's 3. Shocked, Arsenal marveled as 11-12. 13. Who knows? Frenzied lunatics in white darted around like a swarm of immaculately dressed wasps. The only thing the visitors could not do was put the ball in the net. He shouted a lot, Alexander Lacazette said when asked post-match about Arteta's reaction at the interval. You can only imagine that, delivered neatly among the volley of swear words, were pretty clear instructions to play with the sort of energy, enthusiasm and hustle that only their opponents had shown for the opening 45 minutes. See? I told you what it would be like. In truth, Arteta had already got his players working harder and playing with more energy than they had under Unai Emery, even before this game. The supposedly lazy Mesut Ozil, for example, ran 11.53 kilometers in the victory over Manchester United. But Leeds was on another level. The halftime instructions and the message the championship leaders sent in the first period were duly understood. There were no substitutions, but Arsenal came out a different team. Runs started to be tracked, tackles began to be made and, as a result, Arsenal made space for Ozil and Nicolas Pepe to get on the ball. In the 55th minute, their goal came, the build-up as brilliant as the finish was scruffy. Pepe turned his man on the halfway line, drove forwards and played it to Alexander Lacazette, who had made a clever run from inside to out. Lacazette's pass was intended to return to his countryman, but found its way to Reiss Nelson via a deflection and he bundled it over the line in ungainly fashion. From there, Arsenal kept up their energy levels for another 15 minutes, attacking with intent and pushing their shot tally upwards at a rate that would have pleased Arteta. They might even have had a penalty. Lacazette was fouled as he looked to turn and shoot, but he did not go down and paid for his honesty when the referee did not put his whistle to his lips and the VAR refused to intervene. When it looked as if his team might drop away physically, the introduction of Gabriel Martinelli gave them some spark, another bright spot in the positive second half display. The first half, although alarmingly poor at first sight, will doubtless prove a positive for Arsenal in the long run, a timely lesson from lesser players in how focus, intensity and an unshakable belief in what you are doing can make the team outplay technically superior opposition. The way his team reacted, the victory and the chance it gives them to make something of this season are the cherry on top for Arteta. After you win, you don't want to stop winning, he said at his press conference before this match. You become addicts to that, and that's what we have to try to implement at this football club. After Monday's game, his players will have a better idea of just how hard they'll have to work if they are to get a regular fix of their new drug.